Well, Brian, we have to start with what was an exciting game Saturday in Boston. You said at halftime that this is the MLL, so any deficit is something that you guys can overcome. But what gave you confidence that your team could have that kind of performance?
You know, really that when we had the ball and we took care of it, we had good possessions, we scored. You know, so I thought we were a little bit sloppy with the ball at our clears, and when we got the ball in offense, sometimes rush things. But I was confident that if we had the ball, we can go down and score. Our defense and our goaltending did a good job in the second half, and I thought we did a great job on faceoffs, kind of competing hard and getting some balls back.
And you mentioned goaltending and defense. Halftime, you make the switch. Brian Phipps is a vet in this league, a guy who's played at an all-star level. How does that process go? I know he did take a shot off the calf, so that may have made things easier, but walk us into that locker room and making that decision to make a switch, which is never easy.
Sure. Told Brian that and he got hit in the leg and his calf was really swelling up. So I told him I thought it was a good time for him to get some rest and go with Nico. So he was all for it. I think he knew he wasn't playing great and he was a little bit banged up. So Nico's ready. It's great to have a goalie who's always prepared and always ready, and he did an excellent job.
In terms of that halftime message, what was it? Because you still have a young team, and I think a lot of these guys come from college where that type of deficit, and really the way you guys played in the first half, you're thinking, all right, this is not a game we're going to win. How do you vocalize to them that, hey, this is a long way to go, and with the two-point arc and all the things we have in this league, this is a game we can grab?
Sure. We're a confident bunch. We're a high-energy group. I think the guys, they love the competition. So to kind of give them a challenge, I thought really kind of sparked them a little bit. We didn't do too much different X's and O's stuff, but for the most part, it was just about maintaining possession and fighting for every ground ball.
You used the word fight, and I thought it was apropos that you tweeted after the game that this is a character win. What is the lasting effect of this win, you think, in terms of giving a young team confidence that even when you're probably not your best, you can beat a very good team?
Yeah, that's the thing. We weren't at our best. We still make a lot of mistakes. We got to clean a lot of things up and work on some things. But to be down and not playing your best game and to be able to chip away on the road against a very good team, I think it should give our team a lot of confidence moving on that, whatever happens, whatever obstacles we face, we can overcome them.
And it has to help to have a player of Miles Jones's caliber. And obviously everyone knows what he can do. We saw him do it in college, but that seemed like a coming out party in terms of, I'm one of the top midfielders in this league this year, watch out. What was it like to see it from a sideline?
It was great. It was, Boston was throwing everything out there, pulling him, sliding early, shutting him off, and he kept finding answers. So, I think for him it was a little bit personal, which is okay because he can make things happen every time he touches the ball. And what I was impressed with was his unselfishness. He made some unbelievable plays and great passes, which led to open goals for other people. So he's always got his head up, but he's always willing to take that shot and make the huge play. 2-game
sample size with him, and that obviously was the one that'll grab the headlines. But how is he different in year two, you think?
More confident. I think he knows the staff, knows his teammates better. Coming into the league last year, a lot of pressure on a new guy being the #1 pick. Got traded early on, and maybe there's some doubts, and maybe he was a little bit tired from his college season. But this year, he's confident. I think we're expecting him to be a leader, and he's embraced that.
Another major storyline from that game was the loss of Charlie Rafa early with the knee injury. Obviously, you lose your starting faceoff man. That's a big deal. But then C.J. Costabile goes in there, and he fights. Yep. But how did that change that game early from an emotional standpoint where you lose a guy you care about with what looks like a serious injury, and then how you have to manage a situation against a good faceoff man in Joe Nardella?
Sure. With 19-man dressing roster, you really don't have room to dress, a backup faceoff guy. CJ's a guy who takes faceoffs and also plays defense for us, so he has experience in that role. But seeing Charlie go down, and he was 3 for 3 at that point. He was playing really well, and he got injured again, which was a shame. But I thought at halftime, Coach Goers really helped our faceoff group out, made some adjustments, and allowed CJ to kind of do what he does, and that's if Nardella wins it, to go pressure him and go chase him, and then CJ wants him clean. So that helped us with possessions and get the game back in our favor.
The defense, though, that's your area of expertise. I know as a former defenseman in this league. Numbers don't really reflect always because of the way this league's played and how good the offenses are, but what do you think the priorities are for that group to keep you at that 10 to 12 range?
Yeah, really for us, it's just playing together more, building a chemistry and a cohesiveness. We haven't had a lot of practice time with the guys who are dressing, so for them to play together, get to know each other, communicate better with each other, and then make some saves. I thought the second half we made some saves, so our defense looked a lot better, but teams are going to shoot, so we got to be ready to make the saves and kind of force them into low-angle shots.